Tech Tales 31, today, May 15th, 2021. And this time slip is from May 4th on a Tuesday, 8:38 a.m. to 8:54 a.m. It was a phone conversation with the attorney's office that begins with the letter B. I was speaking with M in the office, and this was about how to connect the television, the laptop that's in their conference room to the large screen television that's hanging on the wall. Around actually before COVID started, I went in to figure out how to do it at their request. You know, connecting to a TV, that's kind of a special thing. Some computer consultants wouldn't take that on, but I was like going in for a new challenge. And it took, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours to figure it out. Turned out to be kind of simple to do. The reason why it took so long to figure it out is because there's different ways to do it depending upon what computer you're doing it from and what television set that you're working with. The manufacturer of the television set had a few different models, a few different ways you could accomplish the connection. And depending upon what kind of laptop you had, you might have to jump through a few hoops. But the laptop that we had was pretty fresh, pretty new. And it had the option for projecting to a television to actually go out and look at the network, what devices are on the network, and find it. And it's been a while since I've had my hands on that, but I found my notes and talked her through doing it. So we got that done in 16 minutes. And she wrote down notes of how to do it. Now, I remember once I figured it out, then COVID hit. And then they weren't going to be doing any conference room stuff for a while. And then they wanted to do Zoom sessions in the conference room. So I went back in and actually had a session with them in the conference room wearing masks, teaching them how to do it. And I know I had written instructions for them. Not sure if I sent them by email or left it as a document on the desktop of the laptop, but when I was on the phone with M, we couldn't find that. So we essentially had to reconstruct it from my notes, because I had my notes in Microsoft OneNote. They weren't really user-friendly notes that I could just copy and send, but I could have reworked it a little bit. But she said, no, just let me go ahead and I'll write my own notes, which is actually a good thing, because my instructions might not make sense to them. Them writing their own notes can be better. However, sometimes their notes aren't good enough for them to refer to 6 months down the road. Now, when I say them, I'm referring to clients in general, because I've had many experiences where I'm teaching a client how to do something and they're writing it down, and I'm seeing they got a note over here on this piece of paper and over here and a single word, and it's not very clear instructions. And I know when I finished that session with them, I think I stayed in their office and typed out the rest of the instructions and then emailed them to each of them, or some variation, but we couldn't find it. So I don't know. Then next is from the attorney's office that I refer to as P, but this was for the home office for one of the senior attorneys. This was also on Tuesday, 2:28 to 3:46 p.m. Actually at her house. I installed a new printer, disconnected and uninstalled software for the old printer and the old scanner. So we had her old printer, she wasn't getting along with it for scanning, so we brought in a Scan Snap. That's just a dedicated scanner. You can stick sheets of paper in, punch a button, it runs them through and shows up on the computer screen. She didn't like that. So she didn't like the printer that she had. So we took both of those out and she got another printer. She gets a new printer every 2 or 3 years, and when she dislikes a current printer, she recollects having liked the prior printer, but we replaced that prior printer because she didn't like it. So I don't know. We did the shopping together on this, and I think I went through a time slip on that for Tech Tales. That we went through choices on screen so that she could be involved in selecting the printer. So hopefully this one's gonna work out better for her. So I tested printing and scanning, and I also connected her grandson's computer, who's lives there in the house, at least part-time. I'm a little unclear on how much he's there. So I connected his computer from another room through the network to use the printer through the attorney's computer. I have the printer connected by USB cable. Now, this printer could connect to Ethernet. It could connect wirelessly to the network, and it can you can connect a device by Wi-Fi directly to it. I find the most stable, reliable is to connect by USB cable. And then if any other computers want to be able to send a print job, send it to the shared printer from that computer. Now, there may be some printers that are more stable with making themselves available through the network, but I haven't found that to be consistent enough, and I honestly haven't tried it on every printer. I just find it to be far more stable, connected by USB cable to one computer, and then share that to the other computers in the environment. Now, that wouldn't be the case for a true network printer, such as a copy machine. They're very stable, connected through Ethernet. Then let's see what is next. I want to do this one again, this one during this session. Oh, no, that one's going to take a little while, so we'll do that in the next session. That's all for this time. Hope you have a great day. Hope that was useful. Catch you later. Goodbye.